Hey, don't let this hat fool ya. We're out searching an old railroad bed. The Duluth, Red Wing, and Southern Railroad that was bought up by the Chicago Great Western Railway in 1883. And we're out between Goodhue and Hay Creek in Goodhue County of Hiawathaland. So I don't know if you can see that, but we're on this abandonrails.com, and it does show this line. That's the old railroad going through Goodhue. But when I look at the plat map, you can see it there again. Let me get this pen. That plat map right there. If you can see that line right there, it's where that old railroad was. But then we follow this road on 205, 205th Avenue, and we get to the end where it meets up with this 350th Street, I think it is. And I found an old
340th Street.
340th Street, and I found an old railroad bed and the remains of an old bridge that crossed over. And when I look at that, if you look at where that crossroad is, I'm going to use my pen again. This is where we're at, right in here, right there. And then if you scroll over, you can see where they drew in the railroad bed. So I'm thinking that what they drew in over here might be in the wrong place, because the bridge is over here. So I'm thinking this is the right bridge that I was looking for, and that is just, I'm going to say this is like following Google Maps, and sometimes you find yourself way off track when you follow a Google map. So I'm going to go with my plot book, and I'm going to go with the county map and where I'm at, and I'll show you what I found.
Okay, so when you look at this plat map, this double line right here, this is the abandoned railroad bed that we're following. And when you look really close, there's initials SOM, which means state of Minnesota. Minnesota is buying up all this land to extend the Goodhue Pioneer Trail, the bike trail that we've walked on some of the parts south of us. But it's the railroad bed, and where it ends right here at this plat book, that's where we are right now. So we are in the right position, contrary to that map that was on my phone. So this is where we are right here, and it stopped, and when we had initially drove down here, this is where we turned. So if we would have driven just a little bit further past, here's some more of that railroad bed, and it must have made kind of a slow curve from where we are right now. And you can see now through the years it's been plowed over, but then it picks up again that the state of Minnesota has purchased. And then it swings down around. So basically, that's where we're looking at right now.
So those beehives over there, I believe, are on the railroad bed, the old railroad bed. And it goes out there and then it crosses Hay Creek. And this is really a creek when you get over here. So there's those beehives, and I'm right where the two roads intersect. And if you look over right in here, it starts to look like the ground raises up and goes off on an angle and starts to head out down. Okay, I walked a little bit further down the road, and now you can see that. And it looks to be an old railroad bed to me. So here's where it stops, and it goes over the creek. And check out all those posts. I'll give you another. Now there's those posts again. See them back there? It's hard to get a view of those posts from here. But if I go across this creek and go up on the other side, what do you see over there? That sure looks like an old railroad bed to me. And then it starts heading out that way. And I can actually follow that from driving down this road over here. I can follow it, oh, maybe about a quarter mile up the road. I can see it off to my left before it disappears and goes out of sight. So there's those, where it looks to be those posts from a bridge. And then I'll pan over. And then that's where it crosses the creek. And there's the ones on the other side. I just definitely think this is the old railroad bed. So this is another look from that 205th Street we were on. And that road you see in the background is the 340th. And you see that, what looks to be a knoll there? I believe that to be the old railroad bed. And it's crossing over Hay Creek. And so as we follow this railroad bed, it disappears into those trees over there. And you know, this is all private property, so I don't want to go back up in there. But then there's a hill to the right. And it looks like it turns just before it gets into that hillside, and it heads over towards Claybank.
Yeah.
And Claybank is where they dug up a lot of clay for the Red Wing pottery years ago. So this is the former site of Claybank, and we're still trying to see if we can see another spot where we can see that railroad bed. So we drove through going the other way. Now we just turned around and we're back at this former site of Claybank sign. And I thought, you know what? I'm thinking this is where the railroad came through, and I just want to show you this. There you go. That's a M105. That's a marker. So this is where the railroad came through.
Yeah, and
Isn't this so cool?
of course there's a survey marker, so that's what Minnesota used to
Yeah.
survey this spot.
So this is that's the direction that the railroad came through, this way here. Grown over naturally. This is where I was standing when I saw that marker back there, and I thought, oh my gosh, what a find, hey? I knew I was in the right spot. So just the story about this strip of land that you see here. Minnesota's already bought this up so they could extend their bicycle trails. And now this is owned by the state. And it's just a small strip of land, enough that you could get a bike trail in, and it's something they plan on doing in the future. Yeah, that's just about all that's left on that side of the street. And then beyond that is a farm field, and you know, probably turns there. Probably turns and goes around that other hill you see in the background. But you know, like I say, I don't like to walk on farmers' property without getting a permission, and it's probably all plowed over anyway. But yeah, this is railroad bed history here in Hiawathaland. I just love it. Well, we drove a little bit further towards Goodhue, And we were able to find this spot.
You can see that's the railroad bed, and this is where we are right now.
So that's this area that you're looking at here. And if I pan around, I want you to just look at what's back there. And that's the town of Goodhue. And if you were to follow that into town, that would bring you right where the old railroad station is. And I did a video of that once before. So that's the old railroad bed. It kind of follows Highway 58, if you can see the car way out there. And it would have been coming from out there in that direction, but you know, that's been all plowed over. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. This is my navigator.
Plat book reader.
Yeah, she navigates. She reads the plat books and the maps, says, turn here, turn there. Oh, you missed it. You gotta turn around.
But don't get me in a subdivision, I get lost.
Yeah. So this is grand. I had a blast today. I hope you enjoyed this. Catch you on my next one. Have a great day.